Hi, it's Rika. So, this is Ravi. She is my realistic wolf head made by the Forgotten Imp, and she was one of the very first personas I've had. Now, I had some trouble with this head. Mostly, my eyesight was so very small that I could see barely anything. And that's normal for realistic heads, and a lot of people can learn to navigate themselves with this small vision, but I had a lot of trouble with it, and I just when I wear her and I go out shooting, I keep bumping into everything, because I just cannot see. So, that was one problem, and then the other problem, this head is 4 years old. I commissioned her when I was 15. Now I'm 19, and I gained a bit of weight, and I also got a little bit bigger. So my head is not the same shape as it was when I was 15. I have a little bit of a double chin going on, and I could not fit the head over my head anymore. And it made me very sad because she was such a gorgeous wolf, and it really sucked that I couldn't wear her. So what did I do? Well, I pulled out the entire system that held the head in place when I wore her. So my forehead would rest against this, and then it would close like this, and then my head would be around it, and it would support the head while I wore it. Now, this thing was incredibly uncomfortable. The plastic, there was this soft fabric on here, but it would still put a lot of pressure on my forehead, and also these plastics kinda, after wearing her for a while, it didn't feel very nice against my head, actually. Now, this would have been kinda solved if I wore a balaclava, which I did not have at the time, and I never wore with Ravi because, in later years my head didn't fit in her. Now, after pulling this out, my head did fit, but just barely. So when I wear her now, it went from not getting my head in at all to getting my head in, but getting choked to death. When I put her on, part of her, let me turn her around for a bit, part of the moving jaw, which is this thing, where my hand is against, this border here will push against my throat, making it hard to breathe, speak, and, fucking breathe. And also, yeah, this is the vision I have in her. And there's overexposure of light, so you can't see it, but it's not very good. So, one of my plans is to remove this entire red fabric so I can see through her mouth. And I think that'll help a bit. Now, how do I make her a bit more comfortable while wearing her? I have no idea. No idea. Now, the Forgotten Imp is an incredible maker, but unfortunately, my skin and my head is too sensitive for this type of stuff. Now, I was thinking about having someone, a new maker, remake Ravi entirely, which would be really cool, but also really fucking expensive. And also, if the positive side of getting a new head for Ravi is that all of these issues while wearing her would disappear. I would ask for bigger holes for the eye mesh, so I had better vision. I would ask for more comfortable wear, and it would fit my current head size better. So, what I am going to do for Ravi, because obviously I cannot afford, well, technically I can, but then I don't have any more money for other stuff that I have to buy to, live, so let's not do that. The ears are kind of loose. You can't really see it, but right here it's kind of loose. So what I'm going to do is glue it down, kind of in the shape that I like the most, so those ears are stationary. Now, there are a lot of holes in the fur that happened over the years of just stitching that came undone, because I haven't fixed anything on Ravi. So what I'm going to do is sew those back together and try to make it a bit smaller, because when I wear her, her cheeks are just so huge. Now, I don't know how to make that smaller, though. That's going to be difficult. But I think removing this red fabric from her mouth, which prevents people from seeing my face, but you cannot see my face anyway, and it would probably be for better ventilation. Her mouth won't close, which was the thing in the first place, because if you look at her cheeks right there, yeah, it won't close any further than this, which was kind of like this before, but I am in love with this jaw set. Absolutely incredible. And I think I've never shown a closer look of Ravi, but I just love her mouth. It's very realistic, but yeah, just mouth won't close, which would have been really nice, because now she always has this open mouth. And when I wear her, her mouth goes open even more, because, you know, my fat ass head will not fit unless it just prawns open the mouth. Now, when the mouth is open, my head fits in it better, but the little piece on the backside will dig into my throat even more. So, let's hope that I can refurbish this as good as I can. Okay, so I already glued down this ear. So, for comparison, this is this ear. There you go. Okay, nice and sturdy, I suppose. And this is the other one. Completely loose here. Kind of loose here. Loose as fuck. And tight enough to kind of stay together. Okay, so, I just finished, there were holes on both sides. I did make those holes, they just came through wear and tear. So what I did was I plucked and cut some foam out of it, which is this. And like all these little pieces of foam here is what I cut, and my pants that my goats got dirty. So I got all of this out of there, and all of this, to make her appear a bit more thinner, because I thought her head was a bit bulbous, and you can already see kind of a difference. And I really like it. Now, also, the ears are nice and glued down, so they perk up nice, and oh my god, she is so awesome. I'm now going to cut out the red part, because you ain't seeing my mouth anyway, and it's gonna allow for better ventilation and better vision. Now, I really wish I could make these holes bigger, but I can't. This is built on a resin base. So it's basically stone. I cannot make these holes bigger. Now, what I'm going to try to do, and I don't know if it will help, is cut away these blue pieces. Because for some reason they're in my vision. So, yeah, but I'm already happy because she was looking, oh, yeah, the ears are bendable if you didn't know. There. Can make her look like a dog. Hold on. Now she's a collie. So the ears are glued down and they don't hang down because they were hanging like this before. Okay, there we go. Thank you. And she looks a little less bulbous, maybe just a little bit here, so I might just take, I was just taking foam out and then sewing the extra pieces of fur shut. So right here, you cannot see it, but there was about 5 centimeters wider, and I just not glued it, I just sewn it shut. So there's a bunch of fur under here that was previously there that I've sewn shut. So she doesn't have as much of a round shape. Now, I'm gonna try and make her more comfortable to wear, which is going to be the biggest challenge. Because, oh my god, she hurts. And that's not, I'm not blaming the maker for this. Because I took out the things that make it more comfortable to wear myself, because I couldn't put my head in anymore. So that's not the maker's fault, but it's, let's see if I can put a minimal amount of foam in the head, so my head can still fit in, but it will be more comfortable. Okay, I'm now cutting out the red piece, and it's not as easy as I thought. So I put a block of wood in her mouth, and it just fell out, and I'm just trying to cut it out as best as I can. look at this. Okay, this looks super freaking weird. Alright, but look how much the vision has improved. I can see more through the mouth than through the eyes. But that's awesome. Because that means I can still see, you know? Look at this. This looks freaking weird because you can look on top of the snout. Okay, well, you can see the jaw set. That's completely fine as long as it's more as long as there's more visibility and as long as it's more comfortable. So now that the visibility is fixed and her bulkiness is fixed, there's only one thing left to do and make sure that she's a bit more comfortable. So I have an idea. I'm going to use a rubber band that I can put around her head and around mine to keep her in place. And then I'm going to put little tiny pieces of foam, very, very, very tiny, just to give this more soft texture. So, okay, yeah, so I added this elastic strap and it almost works perfectly. So it keeps my head up and also it keeps my head very close to the eye. This looks so creepy. It keeps my eyes as close as possible to the eye holes, which makes my vision a little bit better, which is awesome, and I'm so happy. So now I'm gonna add very thin layers of foam in here to make it more comfortable, and I think then I'll be good. Okay, so I put a pad of foam on top where it was the most uncomfortable, and I don't think I'm gonna add more because then I will have trouble fitting my head again. So this is the result, and I have slightly better vision. The head fits better on my head, and it's a bit more comfortable. And I adjusted the look of the head a bit, so it looks better on me. So I'm gonna show what it looks like on me in a minute. Alright, so this is the result, and I'm happy with it. But as you can probably hear in my voice, the moving jaw bed still presses on my throat. But other than that, she is so much more comfortable to wear. And my hat fits around her, and the moving jaw still works. I thought it was broken. It still works. So I also made this part a bit thinner on both sides because her head was so bulbous and now it kind of looks wolfy. So yeah, but you can probably hear it in my voice that it's on my throat. It just sounds a bit, yeah. Okay, this feels better. But I've actually done with Rafi what I always wanted to do with her, and that is push my face closer to the eye holes. And now I can see a tiny bit better because my face is closer to them. Instead of seeing the whole inside of the mask and then just the eye holes, I see only part of the nose and then the eye holes. And also, I can see through the mouth now, which helps me navigate because I couldn't see anything below the eye mesh, nothing. And I trip and fell every single time. But oh my god, I'm so happy. She looks so good. I made only minimal changes. And even those minimal changes did so much. Oh my god. Alright. This is really nice. Okay, I'm really happy. And the rubber band is doing its job. So it now has the same technique as Rika's, where it, instead of having an entire, like, inside of a builder's helmet thing, inside the head, I only have a an elastic band around my head, and then my face, my top of my head right here is resting upon some foam pieces, and oh my god, I'm so fucking happy. Okay. Bye.